All my life, my dream job has always been to be a director. After I took my first film class in high school, I would start analyzing the movies and TV shows that I watch rather than just watching them. One of the main things I used to focus on was the music in the films. This was natural, as music and movies were two of my favorite things in the world. After taking the film class in high school, it was hard for me to watch films the same way I used to. I was constantly searching for symbolism, foreshadowing, and other elements directors use all the time. Despite searching for these things, music is always the main thing I'm looking for in film. The film that made me start paying attention to music the most is the Christopher Nolan Batman series. This series is what inspired me to want to be a director one day, and it's why I decided to take a film study class in high school. The way Nolan utilized music in these films is some of the most impressive work I've seen in any films. The film with the best use of this is in the series to me is The Dark Knight. He had a theme song for each character, as most movies like this do, but it was the way he matched the music up to the character that was so impressive and perfect. I say The Dark Knight is the most impressive because of how well Batman, played by Christopher Nolan, and the Joker, played by Heath Ledger, are portrayed on screen with their music. Batman's theme music usually is a build-up followed by a fast-paced violin for when he's jumping into action, which also features super loud and triumphant sounding percussion that fits in the movie seamlessly. When he is in trouble, the music features the same instruments and sound, but becomes slower and a much lower note that swings back and forth. The Joker, however, may have the greatest, most fitting theme of any cinema character ever made in my opinion. His theme music depends on what it is the Joker is up to at that point in the movie. In the movie, the Joker tries to prove that anything can be destroyed, whether it's a person or an establishment. All he cares about is causing chaos. His theme song is all about the chaos and fear that comes with the Joker. Sometimes his theme song is nothing except a super loud siren that gets louder and louder. And what do sirens symbolize? Chaos. Other parts of his theme have slow violins, but over top of them have a very fast percussion. The percussion is very fast and light, sounding almost like two sticks being tapped together super fast to create a sound that reminds you of a ticking time bomb, which in the movie, the Joker's extremely unpredictable manner make him similar to a ticking time bomb. My first time watching these movies, I barely even noticed the music because of how seamlessly it fit within the movie scenes, which is how you know the music is almost perfect. Another series whose music had me intrigued was Game of Thrones. This show is also a big reason why I want to be a director one day. Despite this show having one of the largest casts of main characters ever, most of them had their own theme music, including Arya Stark, Peter Baelish, the Night King, Ramsay Bolton, etc. What was even more interesting was that they had music for much more minor characters, including Jaqen H'ghar, the Waif, Syrio Forel, and Gregor Clegane. From seasons 1 to 5, this show is my favorite of all time. Music was a major part of the show, as they had their music for war, houses, murders, etc. Music was super important for the show when it came to connecting their events from the past to events in the future that were foreshadowed as well. Music in film is something I have always paid attention to and always will. I loved looking at examples of this in class, and something I hadn't really looked at in movies was source music. When we took a look at the bar scene from Star Wars, the source music being played by the band was so important and essential to the scene that it became one of the most iconic source music moments of film of all time. Not only did this open my eyes to different types of music in film, but also just how important they can be to a scene even if they don't seem to be important. Music in films will always be my favorite type of music to analyze, and I believe it is always an underrated aspect when people compare and assess great movies. Not only does music in film have some of the greatest instrumentals, but also it is a brilliant style of music in my opinion, to be able to match beautiful music with action and scenes that enhance it for the person watching. Thank you.